Alright, so I'm gonna have like zero idea whether or not you can see me or whatnot. I just kind of make sure the camera stand there because somewhere mine's lost with this translation of moving, which is frustrating me right now. Just wanted to kind of chit chat for a little bit. Probably talk about the Quitty Quit bike here, and maybe a few other things. This has been a wild little ride that I put myself on. 5 months ago, I was seemingly happy and in a sales position, making pretty good money, but things changed. I got inspired, and some of the stuff that came out of it, and I got to tear it all down because it's time to move. This bike is was made for a friend. In fact, yesterday I told him that I made it for him, and it's his. 350 hours of pretty hard work. Hard for me. I'm sure most of you would look at it and snap it together, but it's just placement. Time really gets spent thinking, because I've got all these great little pieces that I've picked up, and I've got to have the interpretation come across the way I perceive it. And one of the tricks that, I don't know if it's luck or not, but when I see a particular thing, there's this entry crane, the rest of it just kind of comes to. Like I can see it. I'm like, well, this is where it's gonna go, and I'm gonna manifest, I guess, the parts to do it. None of this stuff was, picked up in one place. There's a lot going on here. That's a shaft for transmission. Some of the tubing piping is from like brewing milk, I think in this case, and or just really weird stuff. These front pieces with the light and the spinning scissors over there, those are out of my 64 Airstream. Those are the gas ports for the stove. And then like this hook, that thing, full service life, and it was a mess. To get a little bit of shine on that took a lot of time. I always try to poke fun at myself whenever I'm building something. There's a couple of things that I've thrown in, and are seriously just mocking me in every facet of the form. And that story I might get into down the road, but it's good to have a sense of humor about yourself. The best rides are the ones are coming, but you haven't experienced yet. Life's interesting. Can't take anything for granted, that's for sure, because it can be gone in a heartbeat. The inspiration for this, I kind of say it's off that part there, but really, gentlemen, just kind of, it had nothing to do with me wanting to do art for for a living, or retire from a business I was in. He inspired me in a way that was it was off key, and I think he would respect what I say there, and that very direct guy, very much I'm here to play, I'm serious. If you don't take me seriously, I'm not going to be here. And it was in that sales game. So I realized that if you got a passion about something, take what you got and do the best you can with it, but don't take no for an answer. I'm not an artist, so anybody wants to bash on my work, go ahead. You're not gonna get through to me. I'm thicker than that, and heck, it's just fun. I noticed with friends and stuff, they like looking at it, and I like doing it just for that. So if that's all I went over, that's perfectly fine with me. This one became the zombie killer, I guess, because of the neck on it, and there's so much work went into this. Oh, that thing right there, just that head's got to weigh 30 pounds, and the way to support that when you're running it with coming back through and not trying to get obtrusive with welding and things. I like things to be very organic. I think they meld together that way, and it makes it fun. Makes it something you could disassemble like a puzzle. Put it back together your own way. None of my stuff it's all heavy metal, so you know it's not gonna get hurt. I challenge anybody that ever ends up with one of the pieces to play with it. You know, it's fun. It's interactive in some aspects, and even some of it takes a little bit of work just to change out, you know, lights and things like that. And you know, I'd always show somebody, but with this wheel, look at how perfectly it fits in there, and that is literally the casing that runs cabling through a pretty complicated computer setup. Obviously, these are off telephone lines, but you know they resemble that kind of biker thing, and I had to be subjective with the direction and how it was going and everything. But that's art, I guess. That stuff gets filthy in here. I like to work, and I work hard. You know, it's not crazy for me to put 20+ hours in and not even come up for food, and I get yelled at for everybody. I've lost a lot of weight doing this, but you know, you pick up a passion, and there's that drive. It's interesting. I never really had it before. I kind of been a workaholic. I don't really think about it that way, but you know, I enjoy my time off more. But I find myself really just like wanting to jump back in, play with this stuff, because it's telling this great story, and it is a good story. It's about, you know, I fly. It's my theme. It's my motto, and it's about loving you. You know, I forever love you. I fly. Well, that's pretty simple, and you can say that to a lot of people, but the true I fly is that in order to look at somebody and actually love them, you have to love yourself, and that kind of communication, then you meet your twin flames, like my beauty up on the wall there, and life really does make sense. Not that it has yet, but I got big hopes. One of the cool things about doing this one, these handlebars, boy, those things, they were popping off all the time when I was working on it. I just absolutely loved them, but I could not figure out for the life of me how to really incorporate them into a handlebar setup that looked like a regular bike and did what I wanted them to do, because I wanted them to be kind of functional. Of course, it's always the easy stuff, you know. Simple things that just throw a little polish on your mirror, and it's aluminum or stainless steel, or you know, whatever type of metal it is, and you get it to shine up good enough you can see your reflection in it. It's rewarding. You know, this stuff did not look like this. Oh man, I've spent hours at that that buffing and grinding wheel, and it's all had a life. You might think I'm crazy on this, but I feel the metal, it needs to be cleansed to be brought back to life. And when you're communicating with the metal while you're working with it and you're cleaning it up, you're getting the full story. You're seeing the scars. Those are the things I do not want to take out. I want the metal to have its age, but I want it to have this fresh start, something new. It's something to be appreciated. It's something to say, hey, you know what? I'm not useless. Throw me away. Do something with me. And it's not just recycle, because recycle is kind of getting out of the, you know, the gamut. It's like reuse. You know, why put it back through our smelting system and have it pollute even more, you know, when it's not dead. It's not dead until somebody has to bury it. So yeah, kind of fun that way. The when I say the metal communicates with me, the craziest ideas come to me when I'm working with something, and I have this you know, it has to do with another piece that I have that I call I love it because we, you know, we talk about manifest destiny. I call it the manifesto, and its placement to me, and this is all in this very strange cosmic realm, but it sits essentially on the edge of time, and time being a very loose term to me because people seem to think that it's a linear event, and it's not. It's non-linear, and all things happen at the same time, and then they all happen at different time. And you can see your birth, life, death. You've seen all the rest. Did you have a good world when you died? A Jim Morrison quote. You know, it's true. And I, oddly enough, learned it in a treatment facility because I have a somewhat checkered pharmaceutical past. But walked in the room and everybody looked familiar. And it was not until after I was done with that, realizing that I was going to spend all this time in very emotional situations with these people, that I knew them, or I thought I knew them when I walked in, because it was going to be a very empowering time that I was there, you know, get my life straightened out. And I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. Hey, it happens. I'm an ADD, you know, I'm a Gemini, and I have the propensity to date bipolar women sometimes, and that interaction is so intense. I love it. This is the expression of me. I am controlled chaos. At least I think I'm controlled. But you know, chaos to me keeps me on the live side of the fence, both directions. And you know, I'm not a monk. I'm not going to sit there on the line and just know. I've got to experience it. And so this is what my life's been like. I mean, truthfully, it's a tale and a tale and a tale and a tale, and my days as a liar, the times I was telling the truth and had the crazy stories, are the ones nobody ever believed. But you know, if you put yourself out there, that's going to happen, and not always a good thing. But I got very lucky, and I learned some pretty hard lessons. But what the heck? If you live and you learn, then you know, time well spent. And I have had some really fun times. So this is a good interpretation, as is most of my stuff. I like to think that you know, at any given time, I could take myself at my roughest moment, polish me up, put me back out there, and I still got a purpose to lead. And it feels good, you know, having that confidence. I know I can get knocked down, tag out, and I can snap back. I've been to the bottom and seen it and seen myself do it. And you know, it wasn't just drugs and alcohol that did that to me. I literally will take any event. Gambling put me in the hospital one time. I went to the hospital for working out too much. You know, I do everything to this highest extent, and it's very you know, compulsive behavior, and well, it's a flaw, but it's one that I'm learning to deal with. And I like to impact people that are somewhat struggling with that and say, hey, it's not that bad. Calm down, you know, look at it one step at a time. You know, the 12-step programs do that, but you know, I got in there, and this is nothing against anybody in the program, because I believe in its cause 100%. But for me, saying over and over again, you know, here I have this problem, here I'm stuck with it forever, and I'm dealing with it 1 second at a time. No, I'm moving on, because I'm learning. You know, I'm learning, but I learned, and now I'm moving on. So, you know, I hope nobody takes that the wrong way, because it's, you know, it's, some people it works so well, and I definitely say continue doing it. But yeah, I do like going to the classes every once in a while, though, and yeah, good camaraderie, and they make you feel at home in your home group for sure. Anyway, enough on that. Some other stuff about this little guy here is that it's heavy. This thing's got to be 250, 300 pounds. It's no joke. And I have a broken hand right here that happened a couple weeks ago, and it's because this thing fell on it. And I knew I was getting evicted, and this is going to be kind of probably one of my last events on tape. But it's really, so it frustrated me so much. There was no way I was going to put a cast on my hand and not be able to finish some of this stuff, not knowing when I'm going to have another shop or whatever. So I hope you like taking a look at it, because it really has been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Like 5 months, 3 emergency room visits, and a lot of times that I'm just stubborn. I don't like to go, or I'm busy. I get in trouble for all that stuff too. But yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed our talk, and I welcome any questions. I don't know if I'm going to be on or when I'm going to get this up there, and as soon as I am capable of getting back on and showing you some more stuff. I really have this beautiful 64 Airstream, 22 Safari. There was one at 26 that were ever built, and I want to do a exoskeletal design on it. Very steampunk, very like it, just neat, and I'm excited to do that, and I hope I can get started on it and get some followers, because you know it's always more fun to do something when you're doing it for other people, at least for me. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, we'll chat soon.